Joining me right now is Alan Dershowitz, Harvard Law Professor Emeritus, former criminal defense attorney, and the author of The Case Against Impeaching Trump, in stores now. Alan, good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll talk about the book in a second. Your takeaways from the hearing yesterday.
Well, it was a disaster. Everybody looked terrible. The low point, of course, was when a congressman said he deserved a Purple Heart. A Purple Heart you get for putting your life at risk, not for answering some questions in front of some Congress people. But, you know, it proves the point I make in my book. There should have been a neutral, nonpartisan 9/11 type commission investigating all of this. The 2016 election was filled with problems: Russia influence, FBI influence. The idea of having congressional committees, which are so partisan, doing these investigations makes no sense. They only care about partisan advantage.
I'm glad you mentioned the Purple Heart comment, because we want to run that soundbite. It was a contentious exchange with Gowdy. Strzok questioning the reasoning behind Mueller's decision to dismiss him from the Trump investigation team. Listen to this.
If I could give you a Purple Heart, I would. You deserve one. This has been an attack on you in a way to attack Mr. Mueller and the investigation that is to get at Russia collusion involved in our election.
Your testimony is Bob Mueller did not kick you off because of the content of your text. He kicked you off because of some appearance that he was worried about.
Sure. My testimony, what you asked and what I responded to, was that he kicked me off because of my bias. I'm stating to you it is not my understanding that he kicked me off because of any bias, that it was done based on the appearance. If you want to represent what you said accurately, I'm happy to answer that question, but I don't appreciate what was originally said being changed.
I don't give a damn what you appreciate, Agent Strzok. I don't appreciate having an FBI agent with an unprecedented level of animus working on two major investigations during 2016.
That was Congressman Steve Cohen, who said that Peter Strzok deserves a Purple Heart. Saying such a thing is a disgrace and an insult to all military everywhere. Absolutely. It is a disgrace to my uncle, who landed on bloody Omaha during World War II. It is a disgrace and an insult to Hank Greenberg, who actually got a Purple Heart for landing on bloody Omaha. How do you connect the dots of a Purple Heart to this guy who's hating Trump and abusing his power?
No, it's an awful, awful comment, but it just shows you the depth to which partisan rankling will go. You know, for me, I'm a criminal defense lawyer, and if any of my clients were ever prosecuted and we learned that the FBI agent in charge of the prosecution had made comments like that about my clients, I'd win a reversal on appeal. He could never serve on a jury. We don't know. He doesn't even know how bias infiltrates. He was so assertive. Oh, my bias is completely separate from my actions. We can't know that. It wasn't the appearance of bias. Well, it's the likelihood of bias.
You know what? We can't know that because the special counsel investigation is giving all these guys cover, because the one thing that the Republicans want to know is, what was the reason you launched an investigation into Donald Trump, candidate Trump? Why? Where's the intelligence that told you that there was some kind of collusion, which we're still waiting on evidence of? And as a result, they keep saying it's an active investigation. I can't talk about that. Well, so there's a brick wall there that they can't get that answer.
And when he says on his messages that we're going to stop him from becoming president, you have to take that seriously. He says he didn't do anything, that it was just idle talk, but we can't presume that.
Right.
He should have recused himself on day one when he looked inside and said, I don't want this man to be president.
Let me ask you, Alan, how far up the chain does this go? Because this also came out a little yesterday. There are questions about how far up the Obama administration this goes. This is an exchange from House Freedom Caucus Chairman Mark Meadows. Listen to this.
Were you aware of any discussion that took place with regards to the Russia collusion investigation that took place with the Obama administration's executive branch? No, I don't want to ask you about the people. I don't want to know the people. Right. I want to know, did it happen? Are you aware of any conversations that happened with Obama administration officials? And be careful how you answer.
I am certainly aware of conversations that occurred with Obama administration officials. I'm aware of a variety of conversations that took place across the U.S. intelligence community talking about the Russian efforts.
And here John Brennan's name came up as well. And, of course, he's been trashing President Trump for a year now. Your thoughts?
Look,
how far does it go up?
We don't know. We need an investigation, and it can't be done by Congress, and it's not within the jurisdiction of Mueller because it doesn't involve criminal conduct. That's why we need a neutral, objective commission to look into this, to make sure this never, ever happens again. We, the American public, are the victims of what happened here.
But are they protecting Obama administration officials?
We don't know. We have to investigate that. There are allegations to that effect.
Do you think there's going to be accountability here, Alan?
I don't think there's going to be accountability.
Why not?
Because there is no mechanism for accountability. Accountability would come from neutral, objective. The accountability came in the Inspector General report, but it didn't go far enough. Now, he is being investigated within the FBI. We'll see if that happens. Look, accountability is very difficult. I wrote a book about impeachment. That's the way we hold presidents accountable. And I argue in my book that you can't have an impeachment unless a president actually commits a crime. And yet, even before President Trump took office, my colleagues, friends, people on the left were calling for his impeachment. That really undercuts the constitutional accountability in our system of checks and balances.
Yeah, the book is on shelves right now, The Case Against Impeaching Trump, and we've got the title on the screen.
Well, you have only one cover.
This also came out, by the way, yesterday, because he used the word, Peter Strzok used the word impeachment.
No,
a day after he started working for the special counsel.
Right.
Without doing any interviews, without doing any...
because that's what he had in mind.
That's what he wanted.
That was his goal.
So you have 3 different covers?
I have 3 different covers. I'm going to Martha's Vineyard today, and for anybody on Martha's Vineyard who wants to read the book,
right,
I'm protecting them. I have a new cover. It's a plain brown wrapper, the kind we used when we were kids to hide the dirty books, so that they can go to the beach.
Because you think they're going to be embarrassed if people know that they're reading The Case Against
So this way they can read it on the beach.
You make a really good point, because yesterday a lot of the Democrats were trying to change the conversation, and they're talking about, we want transcripts, we want this. They're trying to change the conversation from Peter Strzok. Are the Democrats in disarray right now? Are they scrambling because the outcomes of this president's policies have been better than people expect?
Well, the Democrats are in disarray because President Trump has pushed the Democratic Party way, way to the left, and they can't win from the left. They can only win. President Trump has pushed the Democratic Party to the left by his statements, his provocations, the fact that he's so hated. They have pushed it to the left, and the Democrats can't win from the left. But, you know, I would have written the same book if Hillary Clinton had been elected, and we have a new cover, The Case Against Impeaching Clinton, to make the point.
Good to see you. Thanks so much.